Hey there, welcome to the School of Wife. This is the MD edition where we talk about creating marriages that are just as successful as your medical career. I'm Dr. Dusumu, and today we're diving into something medical school definitely didn't teach you: the physics of relationships. Have you ever noticed that some couples seem to just drift apart while others grow closer, despite facing the same life challenges? It's actually not random. It turns out that relationships follow predictable patterns of momentum. Just like in physics, that word momentum, right? What I'm about to share might completely change how you view your marriage. Because here's the truth. You don't need both partners actively working on the relationship to create positive change. One partner's momentum can transform the entire relationship trajectory. This is especially important for female physicians because we often carry more of the relationship responsibility while managing demanding careers. Now, understanding these momentum principles gives you the leverage you need to create change, even when circumstances are challenging. So let's dive into the 4 distinct positions of relationship momentum. So position 1 is what I call mutual progress. That's when both partners are actively moving towards each other and towards relationship growth. Picture 2 people walking toward each other on a path. They're both making forward progress, both investing energy, both focused on connection. According to research from the Gottman Institute, couples in this position report relationship satisfaction of 87%, and they only have a 9% chance of divorce within 5 years. Isn't that impressive? The key indicators of position 1 are things like regular quality time, mutual initiation of connection, shared goals, and a general feeling of just being on the same page, on the same team. Here's what's interesting though. Even position 1 relationships require maintenance. They don't stay that way automatically. Actually, marriages that start in position 1, over a third of them slide into position 2 within a few years if there's no intentional maintenance. So couples fall into these common pitfalls from position 1, and that's what takes them away from position 1. It includes taking each other for granted, letting their careers and letting children completely dominate their relationship. And they just assume that because the relationship is good, that it'll maintain itself. The good news is that when you know you're in position 1, the prescription for maintaining the momentum is straightforward. We'll cover that in our next episode. Position 2 is what I call one partner stagnant. This is when one partner is actively investing in the relationship while the other remains stationary. So picture one person moving forward on the path while the other is standing still, not moving away, but not moving forward. They're not moving towards the connection. They're just standing there and the other partner is moving towards them. So research from the University of Denver actually found that 43% of marriages experience this phase, and about 2/3 of them will either improve or deteriorate within 18 months. So this is not a stage in which marriages tend to stay. It's a pivotal position. So in 2/3 of these marriages will either move forward or backward within 18 months. The common causes of this kind of stagnation include life transitions. So like we said, half the time it's career demands, particularly in medicine. The other times it's parenting stress, so a new baby, or even, not new, but children generally. And sometimes it's just individual struggles that the partners have. It could be depression or burnout, things like that affect one partner. And these are things that female physicians frequently face. Actually, studies have shown that most female physicians that burn out due to marital issues. The important thing to understand about position 2 is that stagnation is never permanent. Physics tells us that objects at rest eventually move either towards or away from something. Without intervention, though, a stagnant partner typically begins slowly moving away, and this happens within 12 to 18 months. This is why so many couples will say, "We drifted apart." I'm sure you've heard that before. Because unaddressed stagnation naturally progresses to divergence over time. However, there's tremendous opportunity in position 2 relationships. The right approach can create new momentum without requiring dramatic interventions. But it requires a different strategy from position 1. Now let's talk about position 3. This is what we call slow divergence. This is where one partner is moving slowly away from the relationship while the other continues to seek connection. So picture one person walking towards a relationship growth while the other is walking slowly in a different direction. Studies show that over a third of marriages are in this position. Half of them are capable of restoration with proper intervention. So there's hope here still. The warning signs of position 3 include decreasing number of shared activities, conversations that are focused mainly on logistics, declining physical and emotional intimacy, and an increasing sense of living parallel lives. What's tricky about position 3 is that traditional advice like improve your communication, schedule date nights, often fail completely. Do you know why? Because those approaches don't address the fundamental momentum problem. When one partner is slowly moving away, typical pursuit behaviors from the other partner can accelerate the divergence rather than resolving it. The psychological principle at work is something called opposition reflex. The more you directly pull someone in one direction, the more they unconsciously pull in the opposite direction. This explains why so many women tell me, the harder I try to fix our relationship, the more my partner seems to pull away. It's not your imagination, it's relationship physics. Position 3 requires a counterintuitive approach that respects the momentum principles at work. Position 4 is active divergence. This is where one partner is not just slowly drifting away, but is actively moving away, usually moving towards something else, either a career, a hobby, another friendship, or in some cases, another relationship. So picture one person running away from the relationship while the other reaches out to connect. This position, of course, represents the highest relationship risk. Gottman's research shows that 87% of marriages in this state will end without specialized interventions. The key indicators for position 4 include consistent prioritization of outside interests over the relationship, emotional disconnection, resistance to relationship conversations, and sometimes secrecy or deception. What's important to understand about position 4 is that the divergent partner is usually running towards something, not just away from the relationship. They're seeking fulfillment, excitement, respect, or appreciation that they feel is missing. Here's where traditional advice completely fails. When well-meaning friends say, fight for your marriage or don't give up, they often encourage pursuit behaviors that actually accelerate the divergence. Research has shown that direct pursuit when a partner is in active divergence has less than a 10% success rate. However, counterintuitive approaches based on attraction rather than pursuit show about a 30% success rate, more than 3 times higher than the active pursuit. Position 4 represents a critical choice point that requires a very specific strategy, which we'll cover in the next episode. Now that you understand the 4 positions, how do you see your marriage? How can you accurately diagnose your relationship? What position are you in? I've developed a simple 10-question assessment based on Dr. Gottman's work and Dr. Orbuch's 32-year marriage study. Let me walk you through the questions. For each one, you'll rate your agreement from 1 to 5. which is with 1 being strongly disagree all the way to 5 being strongly agree. After scoring these questions, the total points reveal your current position. 40 to 50 points indicate position 1, mutual progress. 30 to 39 points suggest position 2, one partner, stagnant. 20 to 29 indicates position 3, slow divergence. And 10 to 19 points suggest position 4, active divergence. I highly recommend you taking this assessment before our next episode, where I'll cover the specific prescription for each position. The full assessment is available at schoolofwife.com, and it includes detailed results and initial steps based on your position.